Welcome to today's segment of the Fiz Show, brought to you in collaboration with KBN TV. And today I have a very special guest for this very special edition, Nachilala Nkombo, who is the country director of the WWF. Nachilala, welcome to the Fiz Show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great
Happy
pleasure.
Women's Day, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At least once in a year, women get the recognition, so we're happy.
I feel they should be recognized every single day.
Oh, fantastic. Yes.
So, firstly, let's start with who is Nachilala Nkombo?
Okay.
Briefly describe yourself for our viewers out there.
So Nachilala Nkombo is a proud African Zambian woman who's really had the privilege to serve the country and the continent over the last 20 plus years. I have a training as an economist, but my field of work has been around working to contribute to policy development to drive sustainable development across the African continent. I've worked in several markets, Zambia being one of them. I've worked in Nigeria, I've worked in Kenya, I've worked in South Africa, I've worked in Mali and in Senegal. So Nachilala really is somebody who's just very passionate about Africa and believes that we as Africans have got everything that we need to create better prospects for the continent.
Oh, that is a very powerful statement.
Yeah.
And your journey is actually very interesting. You mentioned that you have a background in economics. I understand that you also have a master's in public policy and management.
Yes. So my foundational training is in economics,
Okay.
and my desire then was to learn how to make money. But I realized that there's more to life than making money. So I did a master's in public policy and management. And what that meant is that I combined my economic knowledge with my policy knowledge to participate in programs that create, greater opportunities for all through public policy. So you'll find that some of the work that I've done in Zambia and different African countries are focused on policies such as agriculture, such as natural resource management, such as health. And the whole idea is to look at how the government policies can be set up in such a way that they're creating opportunity for everyone.
Okay. And what are some of the key professional milestones that led from you studying economics to you now being country director at WWF?
Wow. It wasn't a linear journey. It wasn't like planned to say, okay, I'm going to leave UNZA in the year 2000. And then 2018, I'm going to be country director for WWF. It wasn't that linear, but I was always just very curious. Having left UNZA, I spent some time as an intern actually in the United States.
Okay.
I worked with some of the most knowledgeable, gracious, powerful women, American women.
Yes.
At the time, I was working for a peace and human rights organization. What did I learn there? I learned how to engage with communities. I learned further how to conduct research. I learned there also how to engage corporates, government, and the UN system around issues that matter for progress of humanity. And then from there, I've had, maybe I should say, stints where I have been engaged globally, but then also I've had stints where I have had the opportunity to work in different African countries, and stints where I've had the opportunities to work here in Zambia. So if I can start from some of my Zambian work experiences that perhaps came after my global and African experience. One of the best jobs that I had was working for Father Pete Henriot at the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection.
Oh, wow.
At JCTR, our work was to really look at economic policy, debt policy, budget policies, and how can these be created in such a way that they respond to the needs of every Zambian, not just a few Zambians. From there, I moved on to work for the Danish Association or International Corporation. I don't know if you guys remember them. They used to be called MS Zambia, and then they joined hands and merged with ActionAid, so it became MS ActionAid Zambia. And there, I had the opportunity to serve in support of some of the transformation programs, again, that was looking at natural resource management. It was at MS Zambia, or ActionAid Zambia, that I had my first opportunity to be deputy country director, and then I became a country director. And through that role, I learned my Zambia. I knew where Mplungu was. I knew where Kasama was. I went to Mansa. I went to different parts of Zambia. And it gave me a perspective, not only just how beautiful our country is, but just how rich it is. Wow. And that we as Zambians, if we manage our resources very well, we have no business being poor.
Wow, that is a very wealthy experience you have.
Thank
and I'm sure there are many young women out there who are even more inspired by you right now. You're known to be very passionate about what you do. I want to know what really drives this passion, and what is your word for the young Nachilala out there who also wants to go after the things that you have achieved?
Wow, the young Nachilala out there. So I think decide early in life what your life purpose is going to be. My current job and my previous jobs have not really been jobs, but they've been passions, right? And so when I go to work, I'm not going to work because it's a job I'm supposed to report to 8 to 5. I'm going there because I'm going to join a team that wants to make a difference, that wants to stop deforestation, that wants to bring the climate crisis under control, that wants to create prosperity out of wildlife resources that this country has. A community or a team that wants to bring environmental justice to communities that are in mining areas, for example. So determine your purpose early in life. That's the first point. I think the second point is that make sure at each stage of your life you have advisors, you have people that believe in you, that you have sponsors that believe in you, and you have the discipline to implement the advice that they give you, because I think there is no rocket science to success. If we follow what the successful people that we see in our environment are doing, we can also have some of that. It's challenging being a woman in leadership because you have to work twice as hard, maybe 3 times as hard. It's even harder when you are working in maybe a global context. As you know, black or white in African is doubted. So make sure your things are in place, and make sure that you're surrounded by friends and people that add value that you can learn from in your life, and make sure you're not selfish. Do for others what others have done for you. And I think when we do that, that's when we create this new community, this new Africa that we want, that's actually in control.
Oh, one thing that stands out from you, I think, is your patriotism, not only for Zambia, but for Africa as well. Clearly, you really, really want to impact our continent for good. Now, coming to your work on the WWF Zambia, we understand that you have a new Zambia country strategy. Are you able to tell us more about that? What are the key focus areas for this new strategy, and why are you focusing on those areas?
Oh, excellent. I'm actually excited when you talk about the new country strategy, which I'm going to share with the audience. So this is a strategy that basically looks back at how we in Zambia can contribute to WWF global vision, which is to stop the degradation of the natural environment. As you know, it's critically important for us to protect our natural environment, to protect our natural resources, because our development depends on it directly. When those run out, then we put our futures at risk. So our new strategic plan is all about supporting the country, the government deliver around this 8th National Development Plan, in particular around its targets around environmental sustainability, which are looking specifically in terms of Zambia's natural resource endowment, our forests, our water, our land. How can this be managed well? But also that pillar in the 8th National Development Plan is also about responding to some of the critical environmental challenges of our time and how they impact our development. So the flooding problem that we've had is severe. Communities have lost their assets, they've lost their homes, they've lost their farms, and they've lost their livelihoods. So this strategic plan seeks to ensure that we as Zambians value our natural resources, ensure that these resources are sustainably managed, and so that we have a future where us as humanity and the natural environment can actually thrive.
Yes. Yes.
So it's the whole web of life that this strategic plan is out to protect. And some of the problems that we're dealing with now are not really, I just want to emphasize that they're problems of now and problems of the future. And that's why we all have to get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that you said we all have to get involved. I take it that means the strategic plan also needs a lot of partners.
Yes.
A lot of collaborative effort. So, and also a lot of collaborative funding, I understand. So I wanted to get a picture of who your key strategic partners are to implement this strategy. And also, is it possible for other maybe private sector players to come on board and help with the implementation of the strategy?
Fantastic. So as WWF, we work with the public sector as our main partner. As you know, environmental management, natural resource management, and sustainability, it has to be led by government. It's their mandate. There are so many laws and regulations. So you find that we partner with the likes of the Department of National Parks, WAMA, several ministries to help build capacity, to help create the enabling environment, to help create the regulations, to help create the incentives so that the necessary actions do happen. So we're really hoping to strengthen our partnership with the government, and hoping that we can move a bit faster on some of the initiatives that we've started. We've been working very closely also with a number of private sector partners. And the private sector partners that we work with, I don't want to mention their names, but basically these are actors that depend a lot on the natural environment for them to produce. So we're very excited about having our local advisory board. As WWF, we're a global network that operates in over 100 countries. But one of the things we're always clear about is that the environmental solutions are local. Some of the problems may be global, some of them may be local, but the solutions are local. So the advisory board comes on board with this strategy to share more additional insights in terms of how we can actually respond more efficiently and effectively to some of the biggest issues that I just touched on earlier, whether it's got to do with deforestation or the climate crisis, or just loss of wildlife. We believe that the advisory board brings that local expert perspective to support our management team, to support our staff in terms of delivering the results that we're looking for more efficiently, and maybe in a way that is even much more impactful. We don't want the WF Zambia solutions to be seen as solutions coming from outside. And so the local advisory board provides that steering. It's a group of eminent Zambians that's coming from different backgrounds, from the conservation background, from the finance background, from the legal background. And also we have one of the most dynamic young Zambians that sits on our advisory board and is always challenging us on the extent to which our solutions, our programs are responding to young people.
Oh, that's amazing. It has been really great having you, Nachilala. And thank you so much for the amazing insights.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We celebrate you as Financial Insights because you've given voice and platform to women. And so happy Women's Day to us and the women at Financial Insights. Thank you.
Well, thank you on behalf of the women that are part of the team.
Thank you.
This has been Financial Insights Zambia. Thank you so much.